All right, let's solve equations with rational expressions. So a rational expression is essentially a fraction with variables. That's the short and quick. So in this specific scenario, we have a proportion. We have one fraction equals to another fraction. So proportions, the strategy that most teachers teach is that you can cross multiply, meaning denominator to opposite numerator, denominator to opposite numerator. And we can multiply that. The rationale for this is that you're essentially multiplying by the common denominators to get rid of them. So what I mean by that is we're going to take this problem and we're going to multiply the right side by x plus 2. We're going to take it out of here. We're going to write it on the right side. The x minus 2 on the right side, we're going to take out of the denominator and we're going to write it up here. So we're moving the denominators into the opposite spots. And now we have a linear equation. So we just solve this and figure out our answer. 3x minus 6 is 2x plus 4 minus 2x. We could add the 6. Those cancel. Those cancel. So x is 10. Sweet. There you go. So this is important. Anytime you have a fraction in the denominator cannot be 0. So you will have to check your solutions every time. In this problem, the denominators were x plus 2 and x minus 2. So again, we just need to make sure that it's not 0. If I plug in 10, which is what we have, then this gives me 12 and this gives me 8. So that's fine. So that means x equals 10 is actually the answer. You will do problems where sometimes the answer you get is not going to work, but that's for another time. So let's do another problem. And this time we're not going to cross multiply. I'll show you kind of what we're doing. We're going to multiply by the LCD. So the least common denominator for both of these. That x squared minus 1 is a difference of two squares, so that can be factored. And we factor that into x plus 1 times x minus 1. So if we rewrite this problem, we have 2 over x minus 1 equals 4 over x plus 1 times x minus 1. So whenever you have an equation, an equal sign, and you have denominators, you can always multiply by the LCD to get rid of them. So we're going to take this x plus 1, x minus 1, and we're going to multiply it on both sides of the equal sign. Now this is mathematically legal because anything you do on one side of the equal sign, you have to do to the other, and that's exactly what we're doing. We can put that over 1. On the right side, the x minus 1 and the x plus 1 all cancels out. So we get 4. On the left side, the x minus 1 cancels, so we're left with 2 times x plus 1. If you cross multiplied, you would get something that initially looks different, but your final answer would be the same. So here you'd get 2x plus 2 equals 4. We subtract 2. So x equals 1. That's our solution. So again, the thing that you always have to keep in mind is because these are rational expressions, you have to check that your answer will not make the denominator 0. So if our common denominator is x plus 1 and x minus 1, we need to check if x minus 1 is actually going to work. If we plug it in, this would give us 2. This would give us 0. That's a no-go. We cannot have a denominator that equals 0. So the one answer that we got is actually not valid. So this problem has no solution. So there is no answer after doing all that work. There is no solution to this because the one solution that you do have, actually, if you plug it into a calculator, it will give you an error. So that's how you do this problem. And again, if you cross multiply and do that, the same method I did the first one, you will get to a point where x is going to equal 1. And when you check it and substitute it, you'll still get the same issue. So there's no solution.